G'day. In this episode, I'm going to be preparing and painting a fuel tank for an Evo 6.5 Tommi Mac. The fuel tank's in pretty good condition. It's a bit faded, it's got a couple of scratches, but it's not too bad. I've masked up the openings and I'm giving it a good scrub down with red Scotch-Brite and sometimes sandpaper. I removed the rubber pads from the top of the tank, but I'll make some new ones to replace them after the tank's been painted. It's in the paint room now, it's all scuffed up and I've cleaned it with wax and grease remover. The paint I'm using today is a Valspar Direct-to-Metal Semi-Gloss. I printed the technical data sheet, which I downloaded from the Valspar website, and stuck it on the wall. It's got all the info about surface prep, mixing ratios, spray gun setup, drying times, etc. So it's really worthwhile doing. I'm stirring through the hardener and thinners now, but I'll go into more detail about this later in the video when I'm mixing the paint for the underside of the tank. I put on my spray suit and respirator and use a tack rag and compressed air to remove any dust on the tank. Technical data sheet says apply a half coat, wait 5 minutes, then apply a full coat. After setting up the gun to 30 psi, I'm spraying the half coat. That's the half coat done. Now I'll wait 5 minutes for it to flash off, then give it a full coat. I've allowed the tank to dry for a few days, and now it's a really nice smooth satin black finish. So now it's time to flip it over and prepare the underside for painting. I've used red Scotch-Brite on here too to clean and scuff up the existing OEM paint. Blowing off the dust. Next I'm cleaning with wax and grease remover. I spray it onto the rag and keep rubbing the tank and turning over the rag until it dries. You don't want to just let it evaporate off the tank. Keep rubbing and turning the rag. Now to mix up the paint for the underside of the tank, using the Valspar 5:1 Direct-to-Metal 2K paint. On the 5:1 scale, I'm pouring to the line A on the 300ml cup. Then adding the hardener to line B. The final thing we need to add is reducer. You can see above the line B, 10%, 20%, 30%, and that's all about the reducer. So today we're going to add 15% reducer and give it a good stir. I'm hoping 300 mils of paint will be the perfect amount, as I hate wasting paint, but I also hate having to mix up another small amount to finish the job. Now I'm straining the paint into the gun's cup. This gun has a 1.4mm nozzle, and I'm going to try 30 psi air pressure. I'm wearing the spray suit now and putting on my respirator. Now I'm setting the spray gun pressure to 30 psi. And finally, just before painting, I'm using a tack rag and compressed air to remove dust. The first coat is just a half coat to help adhesion. Checking the drying time between coats on the technical data sheet, I need to wait 5 minutes. Checking the air pressure again and applying the second coat. Without good lighting, it's hard to tell if you're laying on the paint too wet or too dry. You need this coat to be closed, but you don't want runs. I usually hold a torch in my left hand so I can see the paint landing on the surface. This way I can tell if it's too light or too heavy. I'm checking now that I haven't missed any areas. Even though it looks glossy now, it'll dry to a really nice smooth satin black finish. After a week or so, I made some new rubber pads for the top of the tank and put them on. Well, that turned out really well. If you got anything out of it, hit the like and subscribe buttons and that little notification bell so you don't miss out on seeing the next video.